From High Point, North Carolina, the town better known as Little Chicago, it's time for the Friday Night Gamble! Featuring Matt Walsh and his co-host, the pride of Charlottesville, Virginia, Raymond Hitman Brooks. I'm your MC, Tony P, and tonight's special guest is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Chuck Cotton! Join us for 45 minutes of fun and great music. Grab a beer, cause now we're getting started. Welcome our host, the Statesville troubadour himself, Matt Walsh.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Friday Night Gamble. I'm your host, Matt Walsh. Over here on my right is my co-host, Raymond the Hitman Brooks. Don't be fooled by imitators. Fear the originators. How you doing, honey? Bless your heart. Tonight we have the one and only. The one and only. And man, he is the one and only. 100% Chuck Cotton. Woo-hoo. Yeah, man. Good Lord. Thank you, Tony P. I appreciate the intro.
No problem.
Man, we appreciate you being here, brother. I've been waiting to have you on. When I had this show and the whole conception for this show, you were one of the first people I thought of. You, Mookie Brill. But I'm glad to have you on. How you been doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good and stuff. Just trying to survive this virus, and can't wait to get back to playing and getting out here and having the good fun and spreading the good joy of music.
Yeah, you spread the good joy of music, and that's for damn sure. Chuck has been around on the scene, folks, for the last, goodness knows, last 40 years. Playing with, I can't tell you how many people. Jimmy Rogers, Nat, tell me, I mean, I know you're a humble man, and you don't like the name drop, but go ahead and lay it on out and just tell them something, because people need to know that you've been a side man for a lot of great musicians, man.
Thank goodness in 1990 I met Bob Marley.
Yes, sir.
And through Bob, I was able to get a chance to play with a whole lot of blues legends. Jimmy Rogers, John Brim,
oh wow,
Billy Boy Arnold, Hubert Sumlin, just to name a few. And through that, even people that didn't play with Bob, like C.J. Chenier and Nicky Hill.
Yeah.
Just
our old cohort, Matt Hill's wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Matt Hill.
And playing with Matt and stuff, and just had a chance to have a lot of great musical experiences. You were with us a couple of times playing with Hubert Sumlin.
Yeah, man.
And it's been good.
Yeah,
great. Been blessed.
Fantastic.
Been blessed.
Well, we've been blessed to have somebody like you, because I can't think of a nicer person, and you know, when I was a young man, Chuck's known me for when I was in my 20s. Yeah. You know, and Chuck, I don't know if I ever told you this, and I'm not trying to get all gushy and, you know, sentimental on you.
Gushy going there.
But no, man. You know, when I was a young man, I had a lot of people a few people in my life that supported me and helped me boost me up. But you know, playing with Bob and playing with some of these guys, it was a new territory for me. And you were always in my corner. I always felt like you would give me words of encouragement. And then the other side of the thing that I first realized when I met you, you know, when I play with drummers, I would play with drummers. But when Chuck Cotton got behind me the first time, you made me work, man, on my own gig. You know, you made me work, but you built that. I think you built that drive in me. Like, I need to really step up my game, because there's some heavy hitters out there.
Right. I try to listen to everybody that I'm playing with, and when I hear you do something, I kind of, push it a little forward, and hopefully when I push it forward, that you hear me, and you'll, do take it to another level yourself.
I remember one time when we did that Blues Festival in Salisbury, and Bob and you came from doing like a record store day somewhere. It was record store day. Right. And y'all came down, and Bob, I remember, it was like one of the first times we played together. Bob texted me back. He said, "Wait, we're going to make you march."
Right. And that's what he'll do. That's what
you do. That's what you do. Well, make us march right now, good friend. I want to hear what you got. Let me find my capo, if I can find it. There it is, right there on the end of my guitar.
I got one by the late, great Nappy Brown. That's another person that I met through Bob. As a matter of fact, the second week that I played with Bob.
Oh, man, so he just threw you right in the bowling pot.
That I played with Bob, played with Nappy Brown. And
tell the folks if they don't know something about Nappy Brown. Just tell them a little bit about him.
Nappy Brown, for one, he wrote "Nighttime is the Right Time." I don't know if he wrote it, but he made it famous before Ray Charles. And he was just
your buddy back here approves.
You
talking about some stuff he likes.
Rhodey approves.
Yeah, you talking about some stuff he likes. He loves Nappy Brown.
And Nappy Brown was one of the greatest singers that I ever heard. I think the people that were writing his music just gave him stuff to try to sing to see if it was going to sound right, because he made everything that he sang sound perfect.
Yeah.
And he had the best voice. I try to imitate him sometime when I can. So, Nappy.
You do a fine job with
his music. He's a great friend too. Great friend. Good people. So
what was it like hanging out with Nappy? Because he came in a place where we were playing one night, I think down in Greensboro. But I never had a rapport with him or anything like that.
Well, he knew how the old stuff was supposed to be, so he would let you know if it wasn't right.
Right.
That's one thing.
He would check it.
Yeah, he'd check. He'd put you in check for a second there.
Yeah.
But once he would tell you and you seemed like you got it, everything was running smooth then.
Well, the only thing I can think you said wrong in that statement there that you made was he was one of the greatest singers, and that's true. But I'm gonna add something to that you left out that you never heard of, because not enough people
That's right,
heard
yeah, that
of
you
who
never, yeah,
Nappy
exactly.
is. And he lived right in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Charlotte.
North Carolina, friends.
As a matter of fact, the first place I met Nappy was down at Jackson Station down in Hodges, South Carolina.
Because that's kind of where he's been hanging out, I think.
Well, he lives not too far from,
Yeah.
I think his hometown was Palmyra, South Carolina. And that's down around, I guess, Columbia, Winsboro, which is where my grandmother, that's where she was from. And I saw him standing outside. We were inside playing kind of electric rock blues.
Right.
And I met him, and he was talking to him, and I said, well, why don't you come on in and sit in with us? He said, well, y'all are kind of playing that rock stuff. I'll let y'all go ahead. And then the next time I saw him was with Bob Margolin.
Right.
And I really got a chance to see what he could. Oh, man, my goodness. He was a fantastic performer.
He was
And he used to do that lemon squeezing, which, Matt used to do also. Lemon squeezing daddy, where he would crawl around on the floor and just really turn the place out.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart.
He was a good guy.
Well, let's do one of those songs by that guy that everybody should know, be a living room name, Nappy Brown. Introduce this one here.
This is Who Told You? I think the original is by Lil Walsh.
Lil Walsh, we got him back here in the corner back there.
Yeah, Nappy had his own version, so I'm going to try to do a little justice here. 1, 2, 3. Told you
All right, guys, you got them moving tonight. This board is lighting up over here.
Fantastic. Yeah. You got that. But my grandmama, she come out and see me one time at the old jail in Statesville, North Carolina. And my girlfriend Kelly sat out in the audience with her, and she told me after the show, she said, I was just playing by myself, and she said, you know, your grand said to you during your performance, said she nudged me and looked at her and said, he got that baby going now. Well, we got these babies going now, y'all, right now from our good friends down at Fourth Creek Brewing. We got Miss Mango, which is now kind of like their flagship IPA. I drank one of these yesterday. There's 7.4 alcohol percentage in them. 16 fluid ounce cans. Y'all go by and get you one. My good friend Jonathan down there, I tell you, he's brewing some damn good beer, y'all. Let's get a little team drink out there. I hope y'all got a can cracked. I got you a drink poured, something good to sip on. Friday night. Let's get right. It's Memorial Day weekend. We also like to thank our veterans out there who paid the ultimate price so we can sit up here and do this old shenanigans.
Yes.
Because it pales in comparison. So how about we give a big team drink, everybody out there in the audience, everybody at home. Let's give it out to our veterans here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody saying cheers.
I did the Tad Walters team drink.
Yeah, I heard that 7.4.
You know, Tad didn't crack his can last week. He just kept going up while we were still drinking.
He thought we didn't know.
He thought we didn't know. Well, it's time to put you on the hot seat, cuz, and ask you a couple of these good old questions I got worked up here on my cue cards. I hope everybody's having a good time. How about Mr. Chuck Cotton out there? Good Lord have mercy.
Yep.
All right, so Chuck, how long have you been playing music, and what got you started?
Oh, I started playing saxophone in elementary school.
Now, that's crazy, because Ray, I found out the other week, the first week we did this, I found out Ray started out as a horn player, too.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't get that far.
Oh, you wanted to start as a horn player.
It was all taken, so
It was all talk.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time, anyway.
So I played sax during elementary school and junior high school, and I played in the marching bands and stuff. And when I was, I guess I must have been about 13 or 14 years old, or maybe even a little bit before that, there were a couple of clubs in my neighborhood, one El Rocco,
and this is in Greensboro?
In Greensboro,
Okay,
and one was the Carlotta. So we would play baseball up on Auntie's campus, and so we would walk to different stores to get drinks or whatever. And these clubs were like on the beaten path. So we knew that up and down Market Street they would have these placards of all the bands that were playing at those clubs.
Yeah, the advertising.
Yeah, from Globe posters up in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
And so those posters would be up and down Market Street. So we would go to the back of the club around 6 or 7 in the evening, because we knew that the guys would be loading in.
Okay, so you could check them out.
Yeah, so we could go back there. We didn't know who anybody was.
And so what year would this be? The 70s?
This would be like late 60s.
Late 60s, okay.
In the 60s. And we see the guys back there with the processed hair
Yeah,
and stuff, and the clean cars and stuff, I think.
And the suits.
Yeah, and the suits and stuff. Well, they wouldn't have the suits on then. They'd be dressed for the
right. They load in.
Yeah, load in stuff.
But it's still fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating.
When you're a kid,
one time
you sit behind the scenes.
It was one of the comedian guys drove up in the car, Eldorado, that had suede on the hood, suede on the front, suede on the side.
On the hood?
Yeah.
You got to park that thing in the garage, buddy. I tell you what.
What you need to do.
I
think his name was Jimmy Lynch, and but yeah, we saw that, and just the whole thing of just we could see on the inside of the club from the outside, and we could see the lights and the stage, so that kind of stuff, kind of like just fascinating.
Yeah.
So one of my good buddies that we had been playing Little League baseball like a year, so we turned, I guess, 13. And what we used to do is go downtown on Saturday mornings and get records by James Brown, Otis Redding, or whoever, those were the kind of funky guys. And we would learn all the horn parts.
Yeah.
We weren't playing in the band. We would just sit up in his house and
just hanging out. Yeah.
Just learning parts.
Trading licks.
Yeah. And then one day he came and said, "Look, man, there's some guys in my neighborhood. They need some horn players." And so I was
This
like,
is the opportunity
yeah,
you've been waiting
so
for.
I said, yeah, okay. So we went to the rehearsal and stuff, and they said, okay, you made the cut. And they gave us these silk green shirts. They said when we call you, bring these, wear these shirts.
Or you're going to be
Yeah,
fine.
wear these shirts. And so the places that we played were kind of like in the neighborhood. Like I said, at Colorado and at El Rocco place, and we played another place, the Elks Club. So we could walk to the gig. So I'd have my horn in my hand, got my green silk shirt on, my black pants, and walking through the neighborhood.
Letting everybody know who you are.
Yeah,
I hear what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
So did that for a while, and got into high school and got some friends of mine, and so we started playing in a little band. I think it was called the Blind Justice, yeah. And we played, and after I got out of high school, still playing the horn a lot. A friend of mine, he was playing the guitar, so he was always he had this little cassette player. And he said, come on. Yeah, he had a cassette player. He said, come on up and play along with me.
Cutting edge.
Yeah, so we did that for a while. And he said, we need a drummer. And so I didn't know how to play the drums at the time, but one of the other guys in the neighborhood, he could play. So he kind of showing me stuff. And so that kind of got me started with playing the drums. I say that was around...
So who was the guy in the neighborhood that showed you stuff?
What was his name? Gino Edwards. Yeah,
okay.
Edwards. Yeah,
all right.
yeah, Gino Edwards.
Older guy?
Yeah, older guy. Yeah,
seasoned drummer.
Well, he was in high school. He was.
Okay,
yeah,
so he was.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, so he
in
was
high
your
school.
age. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then, as I remember, we were playing. I was playing horn, he was playing drums, and the name of the band was Chuck King and the Cadillacs. And so Chuck King was like Process. And,
Yeah.
And he had a pipe that he didn't ever smoke, but he would have it in his mouth all the time. And he instead of having a guitar strap, he would put his foot up on a chair and put the guitar across his knee, and that's
how he played all night.
How he played all night. Yeah, like that.
You know, when I had an operation on my knee one time, and I did the same thing. I played with my leg up in a chair, a whole couple gigs like that. I don't know how he did it.
Kind of like Axl Rose.
Yeah, kind of like Axl. Exactly. That I wasn't looking like, little Debbie. You know.
But yeah, and so just started playing. I got to playing drums pretty good, and so I started playing around Greensboro.
Yeah.
And I say, and I'd heard of the blues, I'd heard of Muddy Waters, and I'd heard of Howlin' Wolf, but I never really listened to that music that much because coming up in the '60s and '70s, that's when music was kind of changing. I started listening to a lot of the the rhythm and blues groups, Sam and Dave,
Sure.
all those groups like that, and Otis Redding,
Yeah.
and just all the...
What was hot?
What was hot, James Brown.
Was hot,
And so with playing the drums, I heard of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And so that's when I started...
As did I when I was 12 years old.
So when I started reading about Stevie Ray and started reading about the people that he listened to that got him started,
right.
That's when I started going back and listening to, like Robert Johnson, Albert King, Benny King, all those, all those people like that, Ray Charles, and so that kind of got me on my way, and played around in Greensboro with different blues bands, like with Bubba Kleinfelter and
Big Bump and the Stun Guns.
Big Bump and the Stun Guns, and just different people. We had a band called the Messengers of Deliverance with Scott Mandring and Max Drake.
Oh, Max.
Max
crazy
Drake,
ass Max.
Drake, and so through that, and then when I met the guy that was booking Bob Margolin, and he said, "You ever heard of Bob?" And I said, "No, I never." He said, "Play with Muddy Waters." And I said, "Okay, yeah, that's great." And he said, "Would you like to come and try? Just check it out and stuff." I said, "Yeah, that'd be fine." And so, so Bob started coming out to the Blind Tiger and jamming with us and that kind of thing. So then got a chance to. He asked me to play with him, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds fine."
Yeah.
And he gave me a 30-gallon trash bag full of tapes of all the blues I mean, that was my. I mean, that's probably at least anywhere from 50 to 100.
Wow, you never
50
told me
to
that.
100
I didn't
tapes,
even know
yeah.
that. Yeah.
He said, go and study this right here. Study this. Listen to every one of them.
And you did.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn fair. You did.
And so the rest is, I guess
Yeah.
the rest is history.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah.
Is there
Fantastic.
any other genres of music you play?
I've played. I've tried to play some of everything. Kind of not jazz, but kind of funky, kind of fusion jazz kind of stuff. It just depends on the players and who I'm playing with. Reggae a little bit, funk. I had a chance to play with C.J. Chenier playing Zydeco music,
Okay.
and played with Down the Greenleaf, who were playing like blues, but playing funky blues.
Right, right. Out of Texas.
Yeah, out of Texas.
Yes,
uh-huh.
right.
She's a real great.
She is a
blues-
powerhouse
singer.
and
Great person.
fantastic.
Great person too.
Fantastic.
Is there any drummers that you listen to or that inspired you to play?
As far as I've listened to drummers all my life, and just any of them that I hear is always an inspiration. Steve Gadd.
That's my favorite. One of my favorites.
That's, I know, yeah.
Steve
I
Gadd
didn't
and
talk about Steve Gadd.
With blues, Willie Big Eye Smith.
Really big eyes. Good
And,
Lord.
and through Bob, I just got a chance to see a whole lot of Chicago drummers.
Willie had a timing that was like no other.
No other.
No other. You
I mean,
could
just
not
when
mess
you-
with his time.
That's when you thought he wasn't going to get there.
Right,
was
he
like,
get there.
Yeah.
It was that, I want to say it was it's sloppy in a really good
Yeah,
way.
in a great way. In a great way.
way.
Were you with us that time we went up to Asheville?
Yeah, at the thing,
With Mac Brown.
Mac Arnold
Mac
was
Arnold,
on,
yeah,
and
Mac Arnold, Willie.
and Willie was there, and who else was there? One, somebody else there besides Willie.
It seemed like it was Bob, Willie, and Mac Arnold.
I remember me and you and Matt
And Matt,
drove up there because
yeah.
Bob was flying back from Kansas,
Right.
out where I used to live, and he had
Right.
done that Blue Heaven Studios thing out there.
Right. But that was one of the
That's the
best
first
shows.
time I met Willie now.
Okay.
And then the next time I met Willie was when Bob took me down to Memphis to do not the Handy Awards, but
IBCs.
one of those things.
Yeah,
and
Rum-
we did the
Rum Boogie.
Rum Boogie thing.
Jam, yeah.
And I met Willie, and we were out. We played together and everything like that, And then we were out in the crowd because it was time for the jammers to
Yeah,
come
come
up
up
and
and play,
everything
yeah.
like that. Well, I didn't know Willie Big Eye Smith from Adam, but he came up and he said something to me. He said, and we started up a conversation. He said, "Well, I'm going to go see Calvin Fudge Jones tomorrow."
Yeah.
Because he lived up there
Yeah,
not far
not far from Memphis, yeah.
from Memphis, and he said, "You want to go with me?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I thought, man, he maybe just had a couple of drinks or something,
Yeah.
Sure enough, my phone rang at 7 a.m. and we
Right.
went up there to Calvin Fuzz Jones's
Right.
house, who was Muddy Waters' bass player around the time of Bob and that whole seminal. I call that probably the second seminal Muddy Waters band because there was nothing
Right.
ever better than that.
Then that
That
band.
lineup,
Yeah.
besides
Mhm.
other than Willie Dixon and all the
Right.
classic guys, Lil Walter over
Yeah.
here and Otis Spann and all those guys. So, which three musicians influenced you the most?
Oh, man.
I know that's a tough one. That's one we don't want to ask.
Right.
We don't want to be asked, but it's one they all want to hear.
Right,
They
right.
all the crowd wants to
I
hear.
guess Bob is one of them.
Yeah. It sounds like you got that.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that sack of tapes?
I had
That's
to give it
what I
back to
wanna
him.
So if you
After
didn't
about-
work out,
after about a
so
year-
if you didn't work out, the next guy
yeah,
get a sack of
After
tapes.
about a year or so, he said, "Remember those tapes that I gave you?" Yeah,
Right.
He had to give them back to him.
Yeah.
But other than him, and I guess I started trying to sing like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
And
That's funny, man. I've never thought about that, but I
Yeah.
kind of hear that in your vocal.
Yeah,
And
and,
you're one of my favorite singers, by the way.
Well, I
too.
appreciate it.
You are.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do, to sing and play
Play
drums,
drums, yeah.
using all your limbs and in your time.
Yeah.
And
When I would play with when I started playing with a Big Bump, I wasn't doing too much singing, a little bit, but I would try to mouth most of the words. And one time Bubba had got
Talk 'em kind of.
Yeah.
You
Bubba had got sick with his throat, got something up with his throat, and so he couldn't do a lot of singing. So we had hired somebody to help us singing. May he rest in peace. And there was a situation where a tent situation, and so the guy said, "Well, I'm not gonna sing anymore."
Yeah.
He says, "Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave," and I said, "Well, let him leave. I think I can."
So that's funny,
Yeah,
man.
that's
It seems like a lot of your career has been by necessity.
Yeah,
Because they needed that cat,
They needed- they
and you were
needed-
brave enough
yeah,
to set
yeah,
up, and that's commendable,
try
man. And
to sing.
that's the stuff I dig, and that's the stuff that this show is about. Is people do,
Right.
the people that take chances, originators, people that aren't scared of uncharted waters,
Right.
and go out there and take a chance. And you
Yeah.
you are a prime example of that, my friend.
Well, every time I try to sing, I'm taking it.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that because when you sing this song, you're gonna sing coming up here in a little bit. I Can't Stand Still. Man, that ripped my heart out, man. You sing that like it ain't. Now, whose song is that?
That's actually my song.
That's your song.
Ah.
Stand Still is your song. Chuck, when are we gonna record this damn thing?
I could record it with a couple of people.
Well, good
A couple
Lord,
recorded
man.
with Tad not too long
That's
ago.
a hit. That's a hit. That's a bona fide hit. What you got, hit man?
I have one question.
Speaking of hits.
What advice would you give to a young musician who's wanting to get in the game and playing the drums?
Well, if just from playing stands, just try to do it every day. Try to do it every day if it's 20 or 30 minutes or whatever. I mean, I tried to when I first started, but when I actually got to playing drums, sometimes life can get in the way.
Exactly.
This is a hard business to be in.
Exactly. It takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, and it's sometimes on certain levels, like kind of like on the local level, it's not a lot of rewards in it because I can say that for the most part, the money hadn't changed in about 20 years as far as around here. It just depends on what kind of band you're in.
And what kind of situation you get into.
Yeah, I play a top 40 band, of course. If you're playing down at the beach and you're playing, those clubs like Ducks or whatever, and the Deck, After Deck down at Myrtle Beach, of course you're gonna make pretty good money.
Right.
But if you're playing nowadays, we call them, Bob started calling them menu venues.
That sounds like some
Menu venues.
Menu venues, and so they just clear out a little corner for you a lot of times.
Yeah.
And
you're just on the menu.
exactly.
Exactly.
And you just clear out a corner, and you set your stuff up in the corner. You start playing. Most of the clubs nowadays, they got a bank of TVs, so a lot of times it's not about the music. Just go in there and try to make enough noise to.
And you got guys like this in the background.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Those kind of cats hanging out at the
some people are
joint.
like that, but
Like you.
Yes.
Like you. Exactly. Like you. He's had a little too much to drink.
Some people get like
Listen,
that
man.
after alcohol. Some people are like that when they come to the door.
He's like that. Listen, he's been like this for since we did the show. We got in the second week of the show, and he started getting us free beer. He's all the time smoking weed.
Right.
All the time smoking weed. But
Roadie, not roadie.
But yeah, you know about it. Come on, Tony.
If this is on the air,
Tony
I don't know
P
what
knows
it's
all
on.
about it. Tony P knows all about it. So who are you listening to right now, cuz?
I like Los Lobos.
Yeah, man. Love Los Lobos. I ain't heard them guys in a long time mention.
And on the other side, I like George Duke. Listen to a lot of stuff that a lot of his stuff. He used to have Ndugu Chandler playing drums with him. He was a fantastic drummer. He's fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of drummers.
A lot of drummers. Yeah, exactly. Airto.
Omar Hakeem.
Omar. So I just listen to some of everything. I love the drummers that play with Derek Trucks.
Oh yeah.
What's those guys?
Yeah.
I can't think of the names right now, but just all kinds of music. And I go back all the time and just listen to stuff that I'd heard of a long time ago, but never really listened to, and I find that I like the Allman Brothers.
You've got an eclectic mix of music, man. And you can play anything. I mean, there's that.
Yeah, if I can't play it, I try to fake it till
Oh,
I
come
can
on.
play it.
We had a hell of a time in Nashville recording my album that's coming up here pretty soon.
Right.
And we just got that finished up. And man, you did so much to those songs. I mean, you came in. That thing was done on the fly pretty much, but you came in there and just, man, you played it a lot differently than I've heard you play before. You played all kinds, because a lot wasn't blues, but you put your own stamp, and that's a powerful, powerful sound what you got.
Well,
it's a powerful sound.
For the most part, with the drums, you just have to be in the pocket with whatever's being played. You know, if you can play like Omar and Ndugu, if you can play like any of those guys, and another thing about those guys, they can play all that stuff, but when it's time to let the music be in the pocket, they're right there.
And y'all,
and then it's a chance. Then everything else is gravy.
These are the two pocket drummers. If I ever had to pick them, these are my favorite drummers right here that I know. And I'm in hog heaven up here tonight, y'all. That first song, 45 in the cut, that's, my God, that's how I imagined that years ago before we recorded. But these guys, I admire both of them. They're the most powerful drummers I know. They're the most fantastic drummers I know. I can't say enough good stuff about them. Good Lord, I'm in hog heaven up here. Well, let's take a break from the interview for a minute, because I got some more questions we're going to ask you, and we're going to maybe go a little bit over on this episode because you are such an interesting guest, and you got a lot to say and a lot that people need to know. And most definitely that we need to document for future generations, because Chuck Cotton's a damn star. In my book, you're a damn star, son. Sheesh. All right, so what we got?
We got
Do that that song you wrote. That one that just knocks me out. That knocks me out. We want to do that one in E?
Yeah. No, do that. Do an E. Yeah.
Okay.
E, yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Well, I can't stand still, but my baby keeps running around. Well, I won't stand still, but my baby keeps running around.
That one knocks me out. Where did you come up with that?
I'm not sure.
It just rolled off the tongue, man.
I think it was in Memphis.
It's come up in Memphis. Now, how long you had that one?
It's been a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, a friend of mine just gave me a keyboard, and I try to pick out little bass lines.
So you pick out the keyboard too.
Yeah, well, just picking. You know,
I hear old Showbud.
Pick out the bass lines, and then words are kind of hard to come by. So that's
Yeah. So you write music first when you write, or what? How do you go about writing?
Well, just try to figure out a bass line.
Yeah.
And,
So you hit the bass line first.
Yeah.
And then go with your lyrics after that.
And think with drums and lyrics after that and stuff.
Well, you got number 3 back here, giving you a lot of. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. He's a fan. He is a fan.
Yeah, I hear him puffing back
So
there.
he's puffing. Yeah, he's been well, you know. He's on that CBD and all the hash oil and all that good stuff. You know, he's taking the edibles and all that stuff. But anyway, we do this thing every week where, you know, I don't know.
Grandma, what big teeth you have?
I haven't told Matt this, but he's been trying to bite me every time when nobody else is in
Really?
here. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to file a complaint, but I wasn't sure, you know,
Well, Tony,
whether that would be
Tony,
you or
know,
Kelly, so.
No, listen, you know, we're running this like a real show here. You know, it's like a real TV show around here, the way we run things. So we have a, what do they call that, a complaint?
Yeah, I can file a complaint?
We're working on trying to get a human resource.
Yeah.
HR.
We're trying to get our HR together. Which is, you know, the folks out there are fun. And folks, speaking of fun, we don't care so much about tipping. We just want you to share this thing, okay? So if you got friends, if you got people that just want to be entertained and they want just something a little bit, you know, a break from the norm, because, you know, fear, beware of imitators, fear the originators. If you want something that's just a little bit, share it with your friends, folks. Got a YouTube channel. If they can't find it, you know, if they're not, you know, tuned into my Facebook, you know, not everybody's friends with everybody. You can always find it on my YouTube channel. That's always archived there. And then the YouTube channel is called Matt Walsh Music. That's not hard to remember. So anyway, we do this thing here every week, Chuck, where we give away a $20. I think we're the only show right now on live stream or even on TV that gives away free beer.
All right.
Courtesy of our friends.
Wait, y'all's beer's free?
Well, it ain't our beer, Tony Keys. You know this. We got a lot of guys out there and gals that are nice enough to say, hey, we want to promote our brewery and get y'all to maybe come and because, I mean, the brewery's got a hard hit, you know, with this phase 2 thing. You know, they thought they were going to open up and I feel sorry for them, and even a step further, the bars that probably order alcohol and all kinds of beverages and now are stuck with it for the next 5 weeks. But anyway, we want to help those folks and promote them a little bit on the show. That's why we do the team drink with Fourth Creek Brewery here. We got to give them a little shout out here. How y'all doing down there? Let's do a little team drink to our veterans too, who definitely made this show possible. But the breweries here have been donating $20 gift certificates here to whoever can guess how many damn picks are in this jar. How many you think, Chuck? What
54.
you think? 54?
Yeah.
What do you think this week?
Did you change it from last week?
Oh yeah, I change it every week.
I'm gonna go with
I got.
44.
Are you kidding me? How many picks you think I got? A lot. A lot. I'll order them. Anyway, whoever can come closest to guessing how many picks are in this jar, or if you guess right on time like our winner did last week, you will get a $20 gift certificate to Liquid Roots Brewing Project in Lenore, North Carolina, which is where
That was a cool place.
a very cool venue.
That was the last gig.
That was the last gig that me and Hitman played on March 14th before this all started, all the Rona. And I tell you, man, they had some fantastic brews down there. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, I tell you one thing, on this show, there's a lot of breweries out there, and some of them make really horrible beer. And that's a fact. You know, you can't pick up a musical instrument and start making good music. And brewery or any kind of skill is just like that. But I'll tell you what, the people we promote on here, we like their beer. And they make fantastic beer. And I can't say anything less less than fantastic about Liquid Roots Brewing. So whoever can guess how many picks are in this damn jar will get a $20 gift certificate.
Oh, they're guessing too.
Oh, they're
yeah,
guessing.
Oh, yeah, they're already
they
guessing.
like, hey,
And hey, they're all real close. So either they're getting real good or you're getting real sloppy.
Oh shit! Have I got my dang Tony?
You might. I don't know. I don't know how many's in there. I don't know how many's in there. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll have to see. Well, folks, every week, we do one of these album of the weeks, and this week we got Lee Dorsey.
I've heard of him.
Y'all know Lee Dorsey?
I never heard.
Now, Alan Toussaint did a lot of his production and writing songs for him and stuff, but the band that played behind him was the Meters.
Okay.
So we got best of Lee Dorsey, Holy Cow. This has all his hits on there. Ya Ya, Do Re Mi, People Gonna Talk, Ride Your Pony, Holy Cow, Working in a Coal Mine. We all heard that.
Yeah.
So let's, we do here on this show every Friday night, Chuck. We've been playing music a long time, and how many people come up and say, "Hey, yeah, can y'all dance? Can y'all dance?" Well, I don't dance. Music's always been my excuse to get out dancing.
Right.
But with this show, we do a little something different. Every week, we do dance parties. So we're going to throw in this little Lee Dorsey.
If you haven't seen Matt twerk yet, I mean, you're in for a treat.
I don't know.
You're just in for a treat.
Let's just see where we land here. And let's see what we come up here with.
Yeah, I remember that. Sitting down there.
Fourth Creek Brewery, y'all. Hold on, we got some crazy stuff going on here. Hold on. Oh, we got the end of the song.
There you go.
Hey, sometimes that happens.
There
when
you
drink.
go.
Sometimes
That's
that
it.
can happen when you drink.
That's what that free beer does to you. There he goes, guys. Look at that. Knocking mics around.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get a little rowdy.
Hey, listen. Hey, when you get into it, hey, you go with that moment.
I got my damn 7.4 rolling through me right now.
You ride that train all the way to the depot, man. They all talking about Raymond's moves.
Ray.
Yeah, when this go,
Come on, Matt.
you need to stop.
I'm going to stop it, man, because I'm going to
Woo.
pass out.
Come on
I'm
now.
gonna pass
I'm gonna
out.
pass out now.
Good God almighty, son.
Awesome.
Man.
I thought you got
I-
to on the third show.
Well,
It's-
hey, I've been trying to do a little walking and stuff, but
Well,
I'm
might
not a dancer.
you might need to do a little jogging.
I am not a dancer, Tony P. You know this. I'm not a dancer.
What you doing?
We got it all recorded that you are.
I'm learning.
You twerking now.
Well, that's what takes a lot out of me, man.
That's working.
That's working.
Listen to them dollar bills on the cash.
Listen, when you start twerking on here, son, I will tell you what, when you start twerking on here, cuz, we'll talk. Let's see if, hey, you know what? I just had a great idea.
What you got?
Maybe we have a twerk off on here.
Oh.
Who wants to see a twerk off, y'all? Me and the hitman over here.
Oh,
He's bad on the
no.
drums. I can't say nothing about that.
Oh, yeah.
I might have you on
And
the
we'll let the audience decide who wins. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
we'll let
that's
the
very,
audience-
yeah.
hey,
I think that's a very good
I'll
idea.
make it fair on you. I'll make it fair on you.
Okay, I'll do
So,
it.
yeah, I
I
think
can pull up some Beyonce, videos.
we could do that. We could do that.
Practice.
Well, my wheelhouse is strong with the twerk. I got a couple variations on it too.
You're bad dude.
I'm bad on that stuff. Anyway,
Look like you've been practicing.
well, this is my fourth week at it. So,
Okay.
and the people love it. The people love it. They love my twerk. You know,
Yeah. Yes. I'm sure they do.
well, tell them I got a message from Beyonce this afternoon.
You did.
And
You
I
did.
posted it on
I mean, really, you
on
did.
the
I
feed,
was like,
I know you were blown away.
I was like,
And I was trying to be
damn,
honest.
he
Yeah.
got a damn, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I even,
Showing out.
Beyonce's even talking about his twerking.
well, the governor wants to shut the show down. It's so good.
Well,
He said people are
I
enjoying
mean,
it too much. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let him try. Let him try.
Let him try. We got all kinds of ways. So we come to this the thing we like to do, stories from the road. And my God, you know, playing with all the guys that you've played with and all the experiences that you've had, I'm sure you have a grand story from the road.
Man.
It's going to be hard to pick, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, I'm just saying that, you know, been all the stories that Tad, he gave my story that I was going to give.
He gave it away. Yeah. Tad will do that kind of mess. He'll come in and sabotage it. And by the way, Tad said, tell you hello.
Yeah.
He messaged me today and said,
Yeah,
say hello.
that was a wild day right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, heading down to, I guess it was
Florida.
yeah. And Tad was driving, I was asleep with my head against the window like that. And then I felt this commotion going on. And when I looked
Yeah,
up,
you tell the story from your point of view. Let's hear your point of view.
when I looked up, all I could see was sparks and flame on this side of the coming, you know, by the window. And then I looked up and I saw the front tire going off going in the air.
And this is your vehicle, right?
Yes, my vehicle.
Right.
Yeah, going in the air and going into the woods. Yeah.
Was it like a slow
Wow.
motion moment where it kind
Kind
of...
of
Oh,
like that. Yeah,
I'm
kinda
sure.
That thing was going in the air. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And Tad, he had the wheel and he was bringing us to a stop. And that was a long day. I had to join AAA that day, and thank goodness we found a mechanic that wasn't too bad. You know, he tried to help us out.
Well, I'll tell you what, since you told your version of that story, let's tell the version of Bless Your Heart, because I put you through some changes that day. And it wasn't my fault, but because who knows when the alternator's going to go out on them. But you remember that time that we went down there to Tallahassee, Florida,
Going to Tallahassee,
you, me, and Matt, and we got, maybe
we
10 miles from the...
We were having a good day.
Good time,
We were having
good
a
time.
good
Because
day
we
going
played in
down there.
Atlanta, done that whole little run, you know.
I played at
and,
Blind Willie's the
Blind Willie's,
night
yeah.
before and had a good little
Had a
crowd.
nice night. Nice little hangout afterwards at the hotel and
Yep.
everything.
And I guess we were on that. We were heading on. We were like at the.
About 10 miles from Tallahassee.
Yeah, that band is the band that's got the Florida Bama line or something.
Yeah,
like that.
somewhere
Anyway,
around there.
Anyway, we were right there, about to get to Tallahassee, and your van broke down.
Yeah,
Your
and
van
it was
broke
August
down. Yeah, it was
in Tallahassee.
August. Yeah,
Don't leave
August.
that part out of
And
it.
it was about 90-something degrees, and
Over there in the damn tall grass
and
with a
then
bunch
we
of gnats.
pulled over, a bunch of gnats, most gnats I ever seen concentrated in one place, and they had the ragweed over here on the side. And I remember Matt Hill got real.
He got sick. He got
real
like
sick,
a hay fever.
Hay fever, eyes all red and watery and stuff.
Because here's the thing, you couldn't go sit in the van because the alternator was out, so there wasn't no air conditioning in the van. So it was hot as hell in the van, but you could get away from the
a
gnats.
little bit.
But you'd suffocate.
Yeah. After that door had opened and closed a couple of times, the gnats came on.
But if you got outside, you were going to get natted.
Natted. I know exactly where that spot is when I pass it every time we've gone down to Bradfordville.
And God bless his heart.
Guy came in.
Gary Anton,
Yeah.
that owned that club down there, the Bradfordville Blues Club, came down there and picked us up.
Well, he sent us.
That's called AAA,
Yeah.
and he hooked us up with a place to get the van back on the road
Right.
by the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then came and picked us up in his Mercedes. Had
Right.
instruments down there, drums,
Yeah.
bass amp, and everything. We went and did the gig.
Yeah.
Brought us back, and then the next day they had my van ready by 10 o'clock in the morning
Right.
with a rebuilt alternator. You remember what that bill was for that rebuild?
I don't.
$600. because they knew they had need between a
Yeah,
rock and a hard
exactly,
place, because we had to get back on
Had
the
to
road
get
because
back.
we were heading somewhere. I can't remember on down.
We go down to Florida.
Yeah, we went on down somewhere else in Florida.
Yeah, we was doing that Nas.
St. Petersburg. It was St. Petersburg
Yeah,
we
St.
played
Petersburg.
at. That's where we went. That's it.
Y'all were pretty busy around that time, huh?
Well, Chuck played. Me and Chuck and Matt Hill played together. But they played in my band for a good year.
Yeah,
You know,
for a long time.
yeah, good year or so. We had
I
some.
remember the guy
good
came and
runs.
picked us up in a turbocharged.
Mercedes. Wasn't it?
No, the guy, the tow truck.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay,
remember.
and he was a trip. He was talking to his balls. He was
Yeah.
having some war with his balls or
Yeah,
something.
it was him, his girlfriend, and me, you, and Matt
Yeah,
sitting in the front seat.
yeah.
Yeah. And he was
Hilarious.
doing about 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, talking on the phone to his
Yeah,
balls
talking-
pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah. But we made the gig. We made it out. We made it down to Florida, and we were able to get back. So,
Well, you were talking about some of that Cajun music. Let's play some of that daggone Cajun music. You got one of these Cajun songs here, I think,
Cajun.
grabbed up. Cajun. A little bit of Cajun. Everybody, if you're out there, tell your friends and neighbors about Chuck Cotton and tell them about Raymond Hitman Brooks.
Hey.
And while you're at it, tell them that we're here every Friday night at 7 p.m. The Friday Night Gamble. And if you can't find it, then you can share it on my YouTube channel, Matt Walsh Music. And don't be scared to give that thing a like and follow it. What you got, my friend?
I got a song by Ray Brown that I changed up.
All right. Lay on.
Hey, Mr. Band, we just riding up the band. Play me a beat, my feet can understand. Feel like rocking all the time. Feel like rocking is a heartbeat of mine. Said I feel so good, feel so fine. Got nothing but rocking on my mind. I feel like rocking all the time. Feel like rocking is a heartbeat of mine. Like a big fat rooster, get to the line. Gonna kick out the chicks and make some time. Feel like rocking all the time. Feel like rocking is a heartbeat of mine. Said I feel so good, feel so fine. Got nothing but rocking on my mind. I feel like rocking all the time. Feel like rocking is a heartbeat of mine. Said I feel so good, said I feel so fine. Said I feel so good, said I feel so fine. Said I feel like rocking is a heartbeat of mine.
Yeah, man.
Woo!
Yes, sir. 100% Cotton, man.
Bravo.
Well, folks, we sure do appreciate you tuning in tonight to the Friday Night Gamble. Next week, our friends, the Alexander twins, will be with us. They are a non-musical guest. But if you like comedy And if you like interesting people, you cannot. You know the Alan said. You know Harold and Carol, don't you?
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Ray, you know those guys.
Oh yeah.
They used to come to the Devil Dog.
Oh yeah,
Devil Dog.
and hang out a lot. Yeah, man. You can't miss this next episode we got coming out. How about it for Chuck Cotton? Give it up and tell him where it's at. Man, thank you for coming on my show. I really appreciate having you. I appreciate that you have been a person in my life.
Yeah.
And you are fantastic, my friend.
Amen.
Folks, yes.
Just quick, since it's my first time meeting Chuck, can we play something? Just drum out.
I think you should drum out the show, and yes, I do. Come here, Show Bud. Hey, y'all, look at it. There's old Show Bud. Want to say hello? He's up here. Yes, I see you. I see you. I see you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, we're going to drum out with Chuck and Ray. Folks, if you like this show, share it with your friends. Share it. We'll be on YouTube, Matt Walsh Music. We like to thank our friends at Fourth Creek Brewery. We like to thank our friends at Liquid Roots Brewing Project. Thank you, Tony P., our technical producer, and our MC. Thank you, Kelly Newman. Thank you, Addison Presswood. Thank y'all out there. Your support and the things that you said to me and messages and on comments and everything mean the world, especially at this time. Keep tuning in, y'all. Bless your heart. Don't be fooled by imitators and fear what, Ray?
The originator.
Because that's one right there.
That's
the Friday
it.
Night Gamble. Get it, guys. Let's do it.
Good night, folks.